I can't hear you.
Uh, I was
I
all
can
I
hear
was
you
talking.
now.
Oh my goodness, I gotta go back over my
I
spiel,
was like,
Tamika.
I cannot hear him.
Well, I'm gonna go back over my spiel. Hold on, I'm gonna come right
Okay.
back to you.
All right.
All right, guys. Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you for Tamika telling me. But once again, we are back on Amazon Live on Prime Day, and like I say, we have a great treat for you. Like I say, if you watched the interviews yesterday, they were a absolute treat. And as they say, we saved the best for last. And we got my sister-in-law Tamika Goods here with us today, and she is super excited to be here as well as we are. And there she is. I was talking to myself, and she said, "I can't hear you."
I can't hear a thing. I could not hear not one word.
Oh man, well, Tamika, you know me. I was looking forward to this interview, and
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful that you agreed to come back. I tell you.
Yeah. Anytime, anytime I can, I will.
All right. For those of you that are watching us on Amazon, make sure you hit that follow button. There's a carousel at the bottom. All of Tamika books are down there. I'm telling you, order these books. It supports so much. Help us out here. So Tamika, you're back today with the book you just released. Give us the title of your book.
Okay, so my second book is called A Mother's Prayer Part Two. And as we had spoke before, I actually had wrote a first part that was a mother prayer part one, but it was actually about how to live, cope, and survive grief. So this is actually a continuation from book one into my next part of my journey. So book one was about my twins, me being pregnant, me losing my twins, and trying to figure out, I guess, where I needed to go, where I was going, and then answer some questions in part two, that which led me onto my new journey with my son Aiden.
Right. Yeah, I know in this book too. I ordered quite a few copies. We're going to be giving away 2 copies tonight. I know
Awesome.
my mom was reading it. She said, "Oh, that's a good book." And I
It's
know when
good.
you told me about that book, there were some things I didn't even know. I like,
Mhm.
goodness gracious. So as I don't know if I think you told me you watched the interview last night. But it is just so refreshing to be able
Mhm.
to share your experience, because a lot of people are going through things in silence and think that they're alone. So what was the purpose of you needing to write this book?
So, the first book actually again started from a journal. Me just keeping a journal when I became pregnant. My mom had given me a journal because they meet every Friday. Well, they were meeting every Friday and every Sunday. So I
Hmm.
would go down on Sundays, and I was just, telling them stories about my pregnancy, and they would, get a good laugh off of it and stuff, and we would laugh and joke. And she gave me a journal book and said, "You need to start writing this stuff down."
Oh
Well, I
wow.
never wrote in it. Like I said I was, but then I never did. The first time I ever picked up the journal was after I actually lost my twins.
Hmm.
That's when I started writing. I needed an outlet. And I read somewhere something about journaling. So I would just write as long as I could. And then I would put it away, and then I would pick it up and write again. And it was mainly about what I had been through, what I was going through, questions I was having, concerns that I was having. So I just wrote it down. And because I was trying to find ways to spend my time, because I
Hmm.
just kept being busy and busy, even though I did not go back to work, because that was another issue. I thought I was Superwoman. I
Yeah.
thought that after I lost my daughters, after I laid them to rest, that I was going to go back to work and everything was going to be okay. And
Right. Hmm.
I would never forget the amount of anxiety. I've never had anxiety like this before. And
Hmm.
me going into work and seeing people and talking to people brought so much anxiety on me.
Yeah.
I had like a wall up, like
Hmm.
trying to protect. I don't want to say my peace, but just trying to protect myself because people weren't used to seeing me not be, as you say, strong.
That's
I'm the
right.
strong one. I don't
Hmm.
cry. Nothing. I get through things. I overcome it, and I felt like I was consoling people a whole
Right.
lot.
Right.
But I would never forget that when I left and got in the car, how I broke down.
Woo.
And I remember calling my husband and saying, I do
Yeah.
not think I can go back to work. Like, I just cannot take the stares and the conversations
Yeah.
and the me comforting of the people, because I wouldn't be vulnerable. I really wasn't going to be vulnerable. That's just how I felt at that time. I just felt it wasn't a safe space for me. And I wanted to portray that I was a strong woman, and I was still strong and able to do it, but I was not able to do so. So,
Yeah.
um, like I said, that book and that journal, like, I wanted to do something. I researched how to create a book, and I took my journal and put it into book form.
Yes.
And then I was talking to a friend, and she was just asking me, how was I doing and stuff. And I just told her I wanted to share it with her, and I let her
Hmm.
read it. And then she was the one who said, you should share this with other people. And I thought about it, and I was like, I don't know about that.
Right.
Of course, I let my mom read it and some other people read it. And that's how we went from there. So then book two was just, again, journaling.
Okay.
People had asked me questions from book one, and then
Right.
I said, well, maybe I could answer some of those in book two,
That's right.
and then talk about my experience with my son when we found out, like, he had autism and things like that. Like, people didn't know that my sister-in-law carried our child for us, so
Yeah.
that was something we just kept to ourselves. And
Right.
then I was like, there's a lot of people um, who are going through this, who have been through this. There's nothing to be ashamed
That's
of.
right.
So let me, let me put it out there, and
Yeah.
celebrate in many of God's many blessings, because it was a blessing for us, to be honest. So that's
That's
how
right.
book two came about.
Oh
And I
man.
just took my time.
Right.
When you was going to interview me, I think you originally interviewed me about book one and
Hmm.
found out about book two.
Yes, I was upset about that thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, look, you and some others too. I got
Yeah.
text messages from my BFFs, and
Yeah.
some of my other friends was text messages. What, when you get book two? You didn't
Yeah.
tell me. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, I'm gonna get that, Antoine.
Man, well, one of the things that you said, Tameka, really resonated with me is, as we go through trials and stuff,
Mhm,
you felt the need that you had to comfort others.
mhm,
I noticed that a lot of people come up to me with this sad countenance, and I had to really turn it around
mhm.
to be, bring joy and comfort to them,
Right.
and then in
Exactly.
turn, it really was comforting me. So, could you talk about that a little bit more?
So that's a so for me, I didn't realize it till later, like, where I could, like, turn it into joy. I was just really trying to, let's get out of this situation. Like,
Yeah.
let me give you a hug. I'm telling you I'm okay, and I need to go. Like, I
Right.
really I need to get away, because I felt like I've always been that person. When you're going through something, I will be
Mhm.
there to support you. I'm gonna be
Right.
there to listen. I'm gonna be there if you want to talk about it. I can do that. To give you a hug, or just sit there with you. You want to cry on my shoulder, fine. You want to laugh and a good joke, hey, I will do that too.
Mhm.
But I just didn't know how to actually turn that around
Yeah.
until later on, to be honest
Right.
with you. It wasn't until I let my guard down that I was able to receive what people were giving me, and to look at
Yeah.
that in a different light. And it
Wow.
took me years to get there. So this wasn't an overnight thing. Daryl could tell you a lot. My mama could tell you a lot. It's been many days where, the crying and the breaking down and stuff. But a
Right.
lot of people didn't know that, because when you saw me, I was put together.
That's right.
I'm strong and stuff. It
Right.
wouldn't be to, sometimes I would have events or something, I might would get choked up and stuff, but no
Right.
one knows what really went on behind closed doors, because that's how I presented myself. But now I'm okay with it. Hey, people have to see that I am a strong person,
That's right.
and strong people do cry.
That's
you know
right.
Strong people do accept help from others, and that's one of the things that I take away from that people are there to support you, and allow them to support you.
Goodness gracious. Girl, woo, that's good stuff. And I mean, Tamika, and I had to be there too, because I was considered the strong one and all this stuff,
Hmm.
but you have to allow that comfort.
Yeah, you
You
do.
have to allow, and
You do.
it was a tough thing. I don't know about you, but I kind of felt ashamed of being in the vulnerable position. And
Mhm.
I had to really get over that.
Right.
I was thinking about this scenario. We all know the story of Job, and we're like, wow, we couldn't go through that. Well, you're right. Job was the only one that could go through that.
Right.
He only puts more in you that you can handle, not more than
That's
what
true.
somebody else can handle. So, and
Right.
it's like a muscle. So every trial that we go through is preparing us to not only be confident, but to comfort
Mhm.
someone else.
Absolutely. I truly agree with that. I
Yeah.
truly agree with that. That's a
Uh,
big statement there. Yeah. And when you said you felt almost embarrassed, again, or just not even knowing how to allow someone to comfort you.
yeah.
I had one of my cousins, probably a few months ago or several months ago, she was talking to me, and what she said to me was, um, "How can I support you?"
Yeah.
Now that things have happened, because several things had happened. She said, "In the past, I didn't know how to comfort you. How
Yeah.
can I comfort and support you now?" And
Right.
to be honest, at that time, I could not give her definite answers because I've always felt like I'm the person who's supporting and comforting people.
Hmm.
And I told her, just continue to pray, and whenever I need you, just be there. That's
Oh
the
man,
best
that's
answer I
good.
could give you.
That's
So,
true. I don't know about you, but I know some days it's all lonely, and then you get that
mhm,
random call. I
mhm,
remember I was out walking Shorty one day, and a guy that I worked with him at the radio station, and he had moved away to Texas, and he saw what was happening, and just out of the blue, he said his spirit told him to call me. And I
uh-huh.
tell you, he called me, and I just boohooed like a baby. I tell you, but it was such a need. I'm just telling anybody that's listening, if you get a word or a feeling to call somebody,
Mhm,
do it.
mhm.
I mean, it really is the thing to do. So, Tameka, did you get those random calls also?
I would get random text messages
Okay.
from time to time, just checking up on yours. What are you doing and stuff like that. Because again, I don't think people. What I've learned over the time that people don't want. They feel like if they're bringing it up, you
Yeah.
may be revisiting that, and
Yeah.
that's something I've had to deal with too with people. Like I struggled sometimes. Like I want to check up on people, but then I say, I do want to check up on them, but I don't want to have them to rehash that moment.
Yeah.
So I still check up on people. I just watch my wording.
Yeah.
Um, Losing my twins made me start checking up on people even more,
Goodness. Yeah.
because of that. I thought I
Mhm.
did it enough, but I actually was not doing it
Right.
as much as I thought I was. So
Yeah.
I do check up on people, and you have to read people's vibes. Some
Yeah.
people, that's not what they want when anniversaries come around and
That's right.
birthdays and holidays. Um, so I try not to make it just during that moment. I try to make it like all year, like once a month or every other month. I try to check up on those people that I know have been through something. So,
Yeah. And that's it right there. Checking up on people. I'm telling you.
mhm.
I mean, especially with this pandemic thing going on, and
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of people are lonely, can't, stuck
Mhm.
in them, and people are not visiting like they should.
Yeah.
We need to check up on people. I tell you,
Absolutely.
that does a lot. So let me
Absolutely.
ask you a question. What was the time frame between the books? What was the time frame?
Oh goodness. I think I did the journals back in 2014 for my first book.
Okay.
And then I think it took me, I want to say, a couple of years before I even released it.
Okay.
So because again, that wasn't what my thought was, to write a book and share it with people. Again, I was just trying to
Right.
keep busy. Um, for my second book, I just released it. Well, I had finished it during COVID. I finished it then, but then I wanted to, have somebody to help me do a little video to introduce it, because I think I did a video with my first book, and I
Right.
wanted a video with my second book, but I just didn't put a time restraint on it.
Okay.
I just said, when it feels right, it's gonna feel right. When
Right.
it gets done, and then I would decide from there when I, share it with everyone.
Right.
So I just didn't put a deadline. I will say for the for me to be finished with everything, I did put a deadline on that. I said I need to be finished with this book by the end of the year,
Okay.
which I was.
Okay.
So I was finished with that part, but then everything else, I just continued to just take my time,
Okay.
with doing everything, and working around schedules. Because, like I said, then COVID hit, and then it was a lot of different, things that happened within that year. So I just took my time, throughout the
Right.
year.
Well, you have two things that you said there, and then we're going to jump to this video. So perfect
Okay.
timing. One was the video,
Okay.
but you said you set a time frame. A lot of people want to do stuff, but they never
Hmm.
set a goal. I think the
Right.
scripture is clear. Write the vision and make it plain. If you
Hmm.
never have a date or something set,
Right.
I think the saying say if you don't ever hit a target, you often hit it or something. How does that go?
Uh, I don't know.
Look,
But
we're
look,
going
that
to watch
sounds
this
good.
video, and I'm going to
Look,
have to
that sounds
Google it.
good.
Well, you guys tune in for this video. This is a great video, so enjoy this video.
Waiting for bad news to get worse is perhaps one of the most horrific encounters one could ever experience. After realizing my son's birth could not replace my twin babies, there I stood at another terrifying crossroads of faith and fear. My new love, my joy, my heart, new memories. My name is Tameka Goods, and this is the story of how I journeyed from death to life, from sorrow to joy, from fear to faith.
Wow, that was well done. Oh wow. Oh, that was just where you know what, Tamika. I mean, I love some of those words that you were saying there. Fear to faith. That would have been a good title.
Yes, you know what? After the fact, and it's funny that you say that because so Jay Snaps was the person who did the video for me,
Mhm.
and Tavy Fields. Shout out to both of them. Tavy Fields is the one who's actually reading the words for me. So
Okay.
Jay and I kept going back and forth with what title for the video, and I was like, I'm not even sure. So he threw out some things and I threw out some things. And then he said, well, let's do the fear to faith. And I said, that sounds great.
Yeah,
That
man,
sounds
that was
great. He said, based on everything our conversations and what I've read of the book and stuff, he said, I think this will fit perfect.
yeah. I mean, I tell you, we're getting a lot of comments about your video. Say, I love that video. JT up there, he says, "Wow, shoot, I need that promo for my book." So
Right.
I tell you,
He's really good with it, at what he does. He's
yeah, I
done
tell you,
he's the one who did our S&K Premium Love
yeah.
video.
Now,
He did that video for me as well.
where is he? Is he in your area?
He's in Greensboro.
Okay,
Yes, he's
wow.
out of Greensboro.
I'm ready to talk to you about that. I would love
Uh,
to get
Oh
something done
yeah.
like that. I mean, I hate to say it is expensive.
I think for the work that he does is reasonable.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got to pay
Yeah.
for good work.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one
Because if
thing.
I had done the video for free, it would not have looked like that at all. And
Exactly. Yeah,
just to
you
think, like he does a storyboard and everything. We walk through things and you
Oh
change
wow.
things. He has a lot of great ideas. So the time and money put into it is well worth it for I think.
Yeah. Yeah, like I say, you got to now let me ask you about the second book. Did you find anything difficult in writing certain areas of the book that you didn't want to share? And then how did you overcome and say, "Hey, I'm going to share it anyway?"
Right. Let's see. So one of the parts that I did, so because I said a handful of people knew about the surrogacy part. So I was at first kind of hesitant about sharing that and just sharing my thoughts and feelings leading up to that. Because I think for most people, it's this thing about when you're going to have kids and all of that stuff. I always wanted children, and
Mm,
never in a million years would I have ever thought I would have had difficulty having kids. No one knew that I had had two miscarriages earlier. No one knew that we went through IVF. That was another hard thing for me to say, because I honestly was ashamed, but the more I thought about it, is why am I ashamed about something like
that's
this?
right.
If we need help, we need help. So
That's
we
right.
went through that. We were fortunately blessed enough to be able to go through IVF. You know, things did not work out the way we intended it, but it wasn't our plan anyway. God already had a
Mhm.
plan.
That's
So
right.
we needed to follow his plan with that. Yes, we lost the girls, and then I was so gun ho on um, having another child. I really wanted that other child because I felt like it was going to make me complete,
Yeah.
but that was not the case
Mhm.
whatsoever.
Mhm.
I needed time to grieve, and I keep saying I because and Dara was grieving as well, but
Right.
it was a different. We grieve
Oh,
differently,
yeah. Definitely.
totally different.
Mhm.
So that part was, at first I thought, I don't think I'm gonna put that in there. Then I said, no, I'm gonna put it in there
That's
because
right.
it's other people who are going through this too, and it's
That's
nothing to
right.
be ashamed of. You know, I would never forget what really made me think twice about it and then say, no, I am gonna do it. I remember before we did IVF, no one knew we were doing IVF, and I remember someone saying, um, I don't even know how we got on the conversation, but they were saying I wouldn't pay money to do IVF. What if it doesn't work?
Mhm.
So that stuck with me after
Right.
we did IVF, and then it did. Like I said, we had the girls, and then I lost the girls. That stuck with me. So that was kind of like a. I don't know if I want to share that. I was sort of embarrassed by
Right.
that. But that might have been the most difficult part to put in there. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, there's nothing to be ashamed about that at the end of the day.
That's it.
I was happy to share the news about Aiden, because that was another journey,
Yes.
that we had to, overcome.
That's it.
My sister-in-law, again, like I said, shout out to Angie. She was, I like to call her my oven. She was my oven,
Yeah.
and she carried him, and she carried him with grace, and she was wonderful through the process and everything. And of course, you think everything is just perfect, and Aiden is a perfect child for us,
That's
but you just don't expect that they're gonna say something is wrong.
right.
And I'm gonna have to be honest, like, I used to say, why me? And not why me. I used to say, why, I know why God chose me. But then I did get a little upset about it, which is also
Mhm.
normal, people.
That's
It's also
right.
normal to be
That's
upset
true.
in the moment and to question God, because
Mhm.
I was thinking, I've already lost my two girls.
Mhm.
Why this? Why
Right.
this? I mean, I've already showed you that I can, overcome some things and I can go through some things. Why this?
That's
And
right.
once I got off of my soapbox
Mhm.
and stop thinking about me.
That's
Because
it.
at the end of the
That's
day,
it.
it was not about me.
Woo,
I
boy, that's
finally
it.
got over that and wiped my tears away.
That's
And then
it.
I said, thank you, God. And
That's
we're going to make
it.
the best out of this.
That's
And that's what
it.
we're doing. And that's
You know,
exactly what we're doing with him.
and that's it right there. We can't see outside of time. We're in time.
Mm-mm.
He's outside of it.
Right.
I
That's
never
right.
understood how he could know the beginning from the ending. He's not confined by time like we are. So why
Right.
don't we listen to somebody who's outside of it?
Right.
And one
Right.
thing that's so key to me that has really been helping me is you can't change it. So I
No,
can
you
either
can't.
dwell on it and be crushed by it, or take it and move forward. So
That's
I mean,
right.
that's the difference, and that's what you're doing. And like I say, I've been
Yeah.
watching you obviously for far from afar. I remember you as a little girl when Tanya brought me to the
Absolutely.
house, and now you are consoling me, helping me make decisions. I'm like, what's going on around here?
Well,
But that's what it is. Life is like a hurdle race, and you just
absolutely.
keep. Sometimes you hit some, but you just got to get up and keep jumping.
That's
And that's
it.
what I see from you. You're continue to go forward, like with Aiden being artistic. I mean, you took that, and I just truly believe God knows where to put it at. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because some people
Absolutely.
can't handle that, Tameka.
Mm-mm.
But like I said, you're handling it with grace. The support of your family has been
Hmm.
wonderful.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so talk about the support of your family in the process.
Oh, goodness gracious. the support that I've gotten throughout the years and still get to this day is unbelievable. My dad, my mom, aunts, um, you all, best friends, cousins. The support is just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Anytime I call on someone, they're there to help in any kind of way. Whether, like I said, if I need to talk, let's talk. You want to do an event, let's do the event. You want me to pray, let me pray. And it has
Hmm.
been phenomenal. And I really don't know where I would be without my support. It's kind of scary to think about it.
Yeah.
Um, but I do know I have a lot of praying people. Um,
Amen.
my church family as well, my Pastor Harrison. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness gracious, the way that they have supported me throughout the years and continue to support me um, has just been phenomenal. And I feel like with their support, and me relying on God has really gotten me through
That's it.
everything. Because that's where I find myself going back to.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I find myself always going back right there.
That's
Who is
it.
helping me along the way? God is.
That's it.
So it's been phenomenal, and I wouldn't give them up for anything in the world. It
Right.
has been phenomenal.
It's that foundation. I remember,
Yeah.
growing up in going to the house of the Lord, and this old man just used to love to sing this song, learning to lean on Jesus. I say, what is that
Hmm.
old man talking about? And the
Uh-huh.
older I got, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh
Learning
yeah.
to lean. Well, Tameka, we're at a great time right now. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to play a game here and
Okay.
give away a book. So Facebook is jumping. You've been seeing the comments I've been flashing. Jawan said she caught
You
me
said I
with the
chose some
funny
funny
dance
dances
with
with
legs.
the legs.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
There's no telling the many stories I have with Jawan.
Oh
Oh
my
goodness.
goodness. Wow. Well, guys, we're going to do the duck race. So, Tameka, what I want you to do is
Okay.
think of a single word that they can type that they type in the chat, and we're going to enter their name in
Okay.
this contest. So,
Um,
once you give us a word, so when Tameka give you guys the word, I must see the comment come in on Facebook or Amazon Live. If you're on Amazon Live, make sure you click that follow button. So, Tameka, what is the word?
survive.
So, oh my goodness. See, you guys, I did this
Survive.
the other day. Somebody picked these words. You know we can't spell that word.
S. So I'm gonna spell it. Survive. Survive.
All right, guys, start typing it. And as you're typing it, I will type your name. Now, last night I missed my sister Tracy. She gonna get me. So I'm watching these comments. All right, Jawan's in already. JT.
Okay.
All right, everybody type the comments. Oh man, they're coming in quick. Here, let me see. Turneette. We got Willie. He won last night. We got Delta. We got Annie.
Oh,
All
hey
right.
y'all.
Hey
Yay.
there. Okay, we got Noodles. Noodles. All right. Noodles is on Amazon. All right.
Okay.
All right. We got Dana. Dana, make sure you type survive in there. We can't enter if you don't type survive. Okay, we got Annie. Okay, we got Noodles. Okay, we got Loreen. Oh man, they're flying in here. Tracy Cobb. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit enter here. Tracy. Okay, no E. Okay, okay. So Tracy. Who else we got? Heather. Heather. I need somebody else to do this. We got
Oh
somebody that
wow.
says Facebook user. Facebook user. You're gonna have to put your name. I can't see your name there. So a CHARLENE. Facebook user. Make sure you retype it and put your name. Kanita. We got
You talk,
Stephanie. Oh man, you brought a crowd with you tonight, Tameka.
you type Fanita.
I typed
she gonna
Fanita.
she
Okay,
gonna
who
get
that?
you.
Who that supposed to be Kanita? She gonna
Fanita.
get me too.
Oh yeah, she's gonna
I ought
get
to put
you.
Missy in there.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do Missy. There you go. She gonna get me now. I know she gonna get me. We got Lily. All right.
All right.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
hey
All right, I'm gonna give you
everyone.
a few more minutes. Okay. All right, we got some
Wow.
more people on Amazon jumping in. We're gonna do Dana. Dana follows us a lot on
Okay.
Amazon. Guys, if you are on Facebook, please follow us. We need these follows on Amazon. So make sure you check us out
Yes.
over there. All
Please
right,
go
there
and
go
follow.
Janie. All right, Janie got in. Who says you can't teach somebody something?
Listen, me and her had several lessons
Oh man.
on the
Well, look,
internet now.
look, Tameka. When I don't mind talking to your mom, but when your dad, I like, look, get a phone to Janie.
Yes. Yes. She's gonna
Just
write
get a
down some
phone to
notes and get
Janie.
it right for you.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna go back and scroll because man,
Okay.
if I miss that, they're gonna get me. All right, here we go. I think I got everybody. All right,
Okay.
we're gonna do the countdown. I got everybody named last call, and then we're gonna get back to this interview. This is what I want to get back to. All right, so here we go. We are set.
All
All
right.
right, we got a big race here. So let me get my I got my
Okay.
little duck song music. So let's
All right.
here we go.
All right, JT.
JT's out at the lead. We got our little duck songs.
All right. Turn it.
Call it,
Okay.
Tamika. You
Uh-oh.
call it. Go
I
ahead.
see. Wait a minute. Okay, is that Kanita? Okay, Kanita's in the lead. JT, what happened? Miss Annie trying to come up and Willie. Uh-oh. Dana. Looks like Dana might take it. Okay, Dana still in the lead. Okay, now the
Oh,
names running together. Uh-oh, Miss Annie.
and all right. All right. Well,
All
if you
right, Miss
well,
Annie Penix.
what you need to do is send us your address and we'll mail that book right out to you. Just email live@computerpile.live and we will get that book out to you ASAP. We'll tell you we got his book out to him very quickly. So
All
Annie, make
right.
sure you get that email to us and we'll get you out. Congratulations once again.
Yes, congratulations, Miss Annie.
All right. Well, Tamika, you brought a big crowd with you tonight. That was probably one of the biggest races. Here go Kanita saying, "Come on, 11. All right, you already lost. You already lost."
Oh, she ain't go. That's not gonna sit well with her.
You already lost. Oh my goodness. So,
Ooh.
Tamika, you said you had another book planned?
Well, I will, yes. So I've been working on it, and I probably will not publish it anytime soon. So
Okay.
it's just a collection of things that I have experienced since I've been in education. So
Okay.
more than likely, the book will probably be called something I like to say that can't make this stuff up.
Oh yeah.
And it's just some funny things that have happened throughout my years of education, me working at the daycare and then going
Oh
into
man.
teaching fifth
Yeah.
grade, from being an instructional coach to assistant principal. And then just some personal things that just, within the home and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
just been jotting down things. Um, that happens in this book, so it'll probably come out. Now, I will say for this one, I do not have a set deadline, but I
Right.
will tell
Okay.
anyone that if you do want to write a book, give yourself deadlines. I did
Oh,
have a family member who I talked to in regards to wanting to write a book. And he had a lot of stuff that he wanted to write, but he was like, "What do you do?" I said, "If I was you, I would just write,
yeah.
write, and write." And take, he said, "Well, I really don't have the time to do that." I said, "Well, that's the thing. You're going to have to set aside some time,
That's
whether it's
right.
10 minutes to an hour, and just write. Don't worry about sentence structure, grammar and spelling. That's something you can do later. You don't have to worry about all that now." I said, "But if you know that you want to um, have this book done by a certain date, you're going to have to set phases and stages for you to be able to finish it." So, like I said, for me right now, like for my second book, that's what I did. For the book that I will be coming out later, it's just so much for me to. I've been going back and thinking about things that has happened throughout life and just putting it in just typing it. I do have like certain categories for it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm just taking my time, and again, once I get to that point where I'm ready, I will do that. So, um, so not yet. I have three out right now, but
Okay.
not yet. The fourth one probably won't be probably for a couple of years right
Right.
now, unless something changes and I become a
Right.
millionaire overnight. Hey, it might come out sooner.
There you
Okay.
go. Look, Let me, when you got your first book, that ISBN number, that's like a
Mhm.
legacy. How did you feel?
So my with my first book, I didn't I was happy, but
Mm,
again, I put that in a book form just for me originally.
right.
So I was happy that I saw it. I love the artwork to it and the cover work. I think when I decided to put it on Amazon and I saw the first book like at my mom's house, that's when I got really excited about it. Like,
Yeah.
oh wow! Or and people ordering the book and wanting to purchase the book, which
Yeah.
led me to have a book signing and stuff like
Oh,
that. I
wow.
really did get excited about it. Now, I will be honest, I was nervous because
Hmm.
I was like, I was telling a lot of what I went through.
Hmm.
But I was also, at peace with it. And I was happy about it because of so many people who could relate, which I didn't
Oh, yeah.
realize.
Wow.
Um, I just gave a book. We did teacher appreciation back in May, and I brought two of my books and had them pick between one of the books if they won one of the books. And one of the ladies at my job, she said, I started reading your book and I had to put it down. And I was like, oh no. And then she said, it's only because I did not know how similar our stories were.
Wow.
And I said, I did not know that you had went through that. And then we started
Hmm.
talking, which led to me saying that, I would love to invite you to our group, because this all of this led up to me having a group, creating a
Okay.
group. And I call it CBA, which is Connected by Angels,
Hmm.
because after I lost my twins, then some other people that I knew lost a son, or they lost. I had one friend who lost triplets, and
Hmm.
and I was that person who I was going to talk to them, and I was the only common denominator between all of them. So we started a group, and then we all met, and we that was like our comfort zone where we could all talk and ask questions and see how this person was coping and how this person went about it. So we were a big support group for each other.
Right.
Um, so I can't wait to get that group back up and started. Again, COVID had put a little wrench in it, but I can't wait to get that group back up and started.
Yeah.
But when I got my second book, I was ecstatic. I was
Oh,
happy.
man.
Yeah, I was really excited when I ordered my copy and it came through, and I was like, all right. So
Oh, man.
here the journey continues.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I say, when that book is going to be here. So I mean, that's the good thing about it.
Right.
So
All right.
I wanted to talk about your organization,
Mhm.
S&K Preemie Love. I'm very fond of that organization.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the spotlight here. Talk to us about what's going on with it. I know COVID had threw some wrenches in there, but you
Yeah,
guys are adjusting, or we're adjusting, I should say.
that's right.
Talk to me about S&K.
Well, one thing I will tell you, that God will make a way.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I've always done before I started this foundation was give back, whether it was within my classroom or someone else was having something, and I always tried to give back and
Hmm.
donate. And of course, I started this foundation, S&K Premium Love, in honor of my daughters, Shayla and Kayla. And when COVID hit, I was thinking we're not going to be able to raise any money. We're not going to be able to give money, give scholarships away, and just be a blessing to others. But we did.
Yeah.
We had our rainbow tea. I was not able to have other events, but I had a rainbow tea virtually, and I was not expecting to raise that much money. But that year that we had our rainbow tea was the most money that we raised,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that. And we were still able to give away. I think that year we gave away $5,000. I think it was $1,000 scholarship to five different students.
Hmm.
And then we were still able to give away, I think it was $1,000 later on in the year to college students who were in school. We were still able to do Christmas, where we adopted some kids and did
Hmm.
Christmas. So we were still able to do these things. We were able to donate to Williamsburg Elementary for Christmas as well. So we were still able to do a lot. So I'm so happy that this foundation is still up and running, and that we're able to do a lot of things. Now we did still have to cut back on some things. Like I have some guys that's asking me, "When's the basketball tournament coming up?"
I
I
know
don't
you're
know.
ready for that.
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but we
Right.
will this year. We're gonna have our rainbow tea in
Okay.
September, and we will have our 5K race in October. So these two events will be in person. And right now, those are the only two events we're having this year, in hopes that we can open up some more events the following year.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have queued up that video. That video you have for S&K is awesome as
Uh-huh.
well. So
Yeah.
if you're watching, guys, please go to S&K skplove.org and check it out there. And I know Tameka's gonna get me because I'm supposed to be uploading some photos.
Hey,
She's a
that's
slave
okay.
driver, people. I'm telling you, she's a slave driver.
Hey, you got to get it done.
I know you got to. She'll send me these emails, upload this, do this, do that. I say, oh my God. I said, this
And
girl's
that's
gonna work.
and part of that's because I can't remember how to upload the pictures.
Oh,
They don't change it around on me. I said to keep it the same. I can upload my own
oh
pictures.
man, they keep changing it. Let me
Yes, they
tell you,
do.
they keep changing it.
Oh
So
yeah.
so yeah, so you're an assistant principal, right?
I'm assistant principal.
Oh my,
Yes.
here's one thing I was telling you. Anybody that know you, that be around you, you are really a comedian. Have you ever thought about going into comedian or just doing any act
Uh-uh.
like that?
Because to be honest, I don't think I'm funny.
Oh yeah, you
I
funny to
don't.
me.
I don't think I'm funny. I just I get a lot of joy out of seeing people smile and laugh.
Yeah,
And I think that's my sometimes my coping mechanism. Like when
yeah,
people are sad, is the one thing I do is people are sad and I let them have their moment. Then I'm gonna tell a joke. I'm gonna
that's
say
it.
something to break that tension sometimes.
That's
And
it.
even with me, my best friends, I call them my sisters. We've been friends for over 30 years.
Hmm.
Even when stuff has happened to me, like recently with the loss of my sister and stuff, your wife,
Hmm. Hmm.
they did not know
Hmm.
how to deal with me.
Oh
And
wow.
I broke down in front of them and they didn't know what to do. They just
Right, because they
froze.
never seen it.
No, they just froze, and I was the one who told a joke and just
Right.
broke it all and broke it all.
Oh
So
man.
it's just
Well,
one of those things. So no, I just like to see people smile, and there's so much to be thankful for in
it
life, and to
is.
be
That's it.
upset
That's
and
it.
to be mad about things all the
That's
time, and
it. That's
you just have to get out of that.
well, one thing, being around you for over 30 something years
Uh-huh.
is that you just have that knack of telling you. It's just the way you tell it. You just calm. If I'm going to tell a joke, I'm going to be laughing, but you're serious, and then you just bring the punchline. It's almost like your mom. Your mom, she could be cutting you up, but she's telling it all in the same tone. You don't know she's cutting you up all at once.
No. But unlike my dad, who's telling the
Oh,
joke,
no, he
laughing all
can't
the way
do it. No,
through
he
it,
couldn't
and
do it.
you
No.
still waiting, like, Daddy, please get through the joke.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Oh man.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I know your second book about Aiden. How's he doing? Let's talk about Aiden. How's he doing, like
Aiden,
growth wise, and progressing and stuff like that?
Aiden is doing just fine. He is loving school. However, he did tell me he is not going to second grade. So that's something
Oh.
we're going to work on because he does not have a job. He does not pay bills here. So he's going to second grade. Uh, but I don't know. He loves school. He loves outdoors. He loves learning. Um, Kanita can tell you he loves to play hide and go seek or chase because sometimes she gets stuck with him up there when they go and visit her. Um, she is up there chasing and playing with him, and she's out of breath.
Oh
But
man.
he's doing really, really well. Really, really well. The teachers love him. And once he finds a teacher that he loves and adore, he always wants to speak to her and see her. And one of his teachers was Miss Tannenhill, and she taught him in kindergarten during COVID.
Yeah.
But every morning he would look for her, and she would be if she wasn't there, she would make sure she came to see him,
Right.
and that just sat with him a long time. Even his
Oh,
pre-K
that is so
teacher,
good.
he simply adored his pre-K teacher, and he loved his first grade teacher as well. But
Mm.
he is just soaring, and just doing really well, and I just couldn't be happier. We keep working with them. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Learning doesn't just stop at the school.
Oh no,
One of my
no.
things, hint, 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 people, it got to take place at the house too.
That's
Whether you teaching what we're teaching in the building or teaching something else at home,
that's it.
this is a group effort.
That's
So,
it.
oh yeah.
Now I know he recently, or a few months ago, took part in like the Special Olympics. How did he do
Yeah,
there?
he did great. He loved it. He was actually the I guess it's the king. He won the king.
Okay.
Now I was not expecting that at all. Was not expecting it, and that was a shocker. But he won king, and what they have to do is raise money to do you raise money to go towards the Special Olympics. And we had a fundraiser at school, and then I did something individually as well. We did like a cake raffle just to help
Okay.
him raise money. And then when they announced him as king, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is
Right.
great. But he was so excited about it. We took his crown and
Uh-huh.
put it in the the curio cabinet that's in there, because he wanted his stuff to go in there with his brothers, because DJ
Right.
and Darius has things in there. There are medals and plaques and stuff and trophies in there. So we cleared out a shelf for him to start putting his stuff in there as well.
All
So
right, man.
yeah, he thoroughly enjoyed himself.
I bet he did.
Yeah.
So, so I know. Does he still got that truck I gave him? Or has
Those
that?
big trucks.
Yeah. Does he still, or are they gone? Yeah.
They listen, they are being retired
Uh-oh.
here shortly. I
I know.
love you. You
I
hear
know.
me? I love y'all both. But
Well,
when
look, you got to tell us what to send you next time.
oh, don't worry, I will. I will. I love y'all both. But those three trucks that y'all sent, I wasn't expecting them to be that big.
Yeah, they were huge.
And when they came, oh
Uh-huh.
goodness, I tried to take some and leave them down Mama's them house, and she would not let me. She told me they
Wow.
could not go down there.
They
So
are.
we went through some things, and he's outgrown them finally.
Yeah.
Um, so we are gonna give them away to someone,
Oh,
because
that's
they're
good.
still in great shape. They're in
Okay.
really good shape. So somebody would love them.
Well, that is good.
Yeah.
Well, Tameka, man, I know we're winding up here. Normally, what I like to do, I'm going to ask you two more questions,
Okay.
and then we'll wrap it up. What do you want your legacy to be?
What do I want my legacy to be? Um, That's a great question. And it's funny that you asked that. We were just talking about this last week sometime. I would like for my legacy to be that um, I never gave up,
Hmm.
and that I was supportive.
That's good. That's good.
That's what, never gave up, and I was supportive.
Well, I love that.
Um, yeah, that's what I would say. Want my legacy to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the final question is, if you had any final words of encouragement for the listeners that are out there, what would be your final words of encouragement?
Um, Never give up. Talk to someone if you need help. And find a good friend, find a therapist. Sometimes people don't want to go and talk to someone else. I say find someone to go and talk to if you need that. Um, Continue to pray, keep God first. Um, find the beauty in life again. Find your reasons to live, I would say.
Hmm.
Because in my second book, I talk about being depressed and being in denial about being depressed.
Hmm.
Um, so finding the beauty in life and your reasons for wanting to be here and live.
Yes.
It's easy to get in a depressed state and stay there.
Yes.
D- don't live there.
That's right.
You're gonna have your days where things are not good. I still have my day. It'll be 9 years this year. I
Right.
still have my days.
Okay.
However, I try my best not to sit in that moment
That's right.
forever,
That's right.
because you do have reasons to continue to move. Life is going to continue to go on.
It's gonna go. Woo.
It'll stop for you, like
Hmm.
you feel like it's at a standstill for you and
Right.
the world is continuing to go on, you're going to have to find a way to move on as well. So it's
Wow.
easier said than done, but
Oh
it
man,
can
it's
be
easy
done.
to- I don't know about you, but these last three interviews has been a therapy session for me. And I just want to, personally thank you
Yeah.
because you told me about journaling and you told me about
Mhm.
seeking a counselor. Two of
Mhm.
the things I wouldn't think I would ever do.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did have
Yeah.
one criteria on the therapist is that they had to be Christian, and that really has made a
Mhm.
difference because I could talk
Mhm.
to them and they understood where I was coming from. So I thank you. Like I say,
You're
I wanted
welcome.
to read this scripture here that I read yesterday. I can quote it, but I wanted to just make sure I get it right, and we'll end on this scripture here.
Okay.
It's coming from First Corinthians. Actually, I think it's Second Corinthians. Let me get it real quick here. Yeah, Second Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. Listen to this.
Mhm.
It says, "Blessed be God, even the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of mercies and the God of
Mhm.
all comfort, who
Mhm.
comforteth us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God."
Mhm.
There is purpose in your pain. Praise
Absolutely.
God. Well, Tameka, once
Absolutely.
again, it was a great time. And hang out.
Thank
I want to
you.
talk to you in a few. I'm going to play your video here, and then we'll
Okay.
close out, and I'll come right back.
All right. Thank you for having me, Antoine.
No problem. Guys, that was Tameka Goods. And man, she put out another great book. And I'm telling you, this was a great therapy session for me. So make sure you share this message out. And we appreciate you. Watch her video, and we'll close out. Thank you once again.
Waiting for bad news to get worse is perhaps one of the most horrific encounters one could ever experience. After realizing my son's birth could not replace my twin babies, there I stood at another terrifying crossroads of faith and fear. My new love, my joy, my heart, new memories. My name is Tameka Goods, and this is the story of how I journeyed from death to life, from sorrow to joy, from fear to faith.